All right, so how are we gonna start this? Did we
Yeah, you know how a lot
some
of
yeah, I was gonna say some podcasts will start it out and be like, "Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the first episode of the Cashew podcast." But a lot will also start with some random conversation and then be like, kind of just lead into it and be like, I'm debating what would be better.
I
We had
feel
some,
like okay, so there's something I try to avoid, especially just in terms of content creation in general. I try to avoid the whole fucking intro. Hello,
yeah,
welcome back, and you talk for 2 minutes needlessly about just shit that people already know. So
right,
it's like, okay, if the people are clicking on something, they already know what they're in for. You don't need to tell them a million times what
right,
they've already. It's like, hey, were you aware that you clicked on this video? Like, yeah, you fucking idiot. I am very aware. I clicked on a video that said XYZ, right? So
right,
if it's
right.
like this, that, and the other, they know what they're watching. So I feel like you just kind of start talking about
Right.
anything.
I mean, I'm
And
down to use that as the intro. I'm down to be going right now.
that was kind of the plan,
Yeah.
to be honest. That's kind
Yeah.
of
Okay. So we'll go with that. Yeah. I
because
kind of
I
figured.
don't like long intros.
Yeah, I
Long
agree with
intros
that
piss me off.
completely. I think that's one thing that's a big issue, like in content creation in general right now. Especially like you got to come like from the perspective of I'm like you're getting into the gaming community a lot more, but like for me, I've always been in the gaming community in terms of like YouTube and stuff. So I feel like that's a big thing. It'll be like, hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Roblox. Today we're playing Roblox. Remember to like and subscribe and share it with your friends. Favorite it. Rate it 5 stars. Like
Rate it
it's
five. That was like you had like a little bit of a British accent breakout there.
nah.
Like a
Yeah,
little bit came out.
yeah.
A little bit came out at the end.
Yeah. You got any American in you?
Um. Oh fuck. If I can like start to transition a little bit, like I can't. How do you pronounce words?
What
How do you
word?
like? Okay, so if I was like, hey, I'm American, and I'm gonna go to Wendy's. I'm gonna get a fucking uh 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 big Big Mac. That's it, right? That's it. That's all I got. I
Yeah. I
don't
mean,
got
that's
anything else.
that's about it. Is that a
I can't really do American, to be honest.
yeah? Is that a thing? Like at least here. I don't know if this is rude. I feel like people will do like these really shitty like British accents and stuff as like a joke, like whenever we're growing up. Is that like a thing over there, or is there like making fun of Americans? Is that like a common thing?
Yes. Yes, it is. Were you not aware of that? Are you
I
guys not
was.
aware that we do
I
that?
mean, no, I would assume. I would assume we would, but I've never like I've very few times have I heard someone outside of America attempt to do an American accent, and it's funny every time. But I
Yeah,
I
because
didn't
they
know if
don't.
that was like a common thing. I feel like here we're always whipping out like anytime we're talking about anything that's like fancy or refined, we go tea and crumpet like fucking like
TN,
it
yeah,
evolves. It's such a common thing, especially growing up, to like hit that accent and make fun of that culture. And I didn't know if that was like a
yeah, we do
common
that.
thing. Okay.
We do it in like a less. So we do it in more of like it's a little bit more brutal in England because we do it more like we do the whole like stereotypical big American
Mm-hmm.
type deal, right? That's the
Right. Right.
thing that
Right.
everyone makes fun of. They don't make fun of the accent. But I'm very aware that making fun of British accents is like a massive thing anywhere that isn't in the UK.
Right.
Even in
Yeah.
Scotland, they do it as well. Tea and crumpet. Crumpets are absolutely disgusting. I will stand by that till the day I die. I don't understand where that comes from. The only British stereotype that I can confirm is 100% true is the one about fish and chip shops. Because I used to live in an area that had 5 fish and chip shops within a 2 minute radius from my house. That is a legitimately real stereotype. Fish and chips is like that's 100% true. Whenever someone tells you that, but tea and crumpets, tea maybe okay, maybe tea, but even tea is just like it's just hot water with some fucking dead leaves in it. Oh, well, that's a delicacy. That. Oh, I don't like it. I don't like tea. I think tea is overrated. Coffee is where it's at, and fish and chips are good. They
Mm-hmm.
are warranted to be a good stereotype. Depends where you get them from. Depends whether or not you're going to be fucking doing some sort of Pompeii explosion out of your asshole the next day. But like, if you get it from a good place, that won't happen. But crumpets, really? Of all the stereotypical British foods you could pick, you pick crumpets. Like I don't get it. I don't
I
get.
don't even know what a crumpet is.
Have you? Do you not know what? I'll find a picture on my phone.
I googled it. I googled it. It's a
You know what
small
it is.
griddle cake. Is it basically like a? Is it like a pancake? Is it like yes? No? Do you know what a pancake is?
I know what a pancake. We're familiar with pancakes.
You know what a pancake is? Whoa! It's like a thicker
know what a
pancake from the look of it.
It's like a thicker. It's like a trypophobia infused pancake. That's kind of how I like to put it, right? Because it's got the holes, and some people put like butter on top of it so that it like sinks into the holes.
I see that.
But I mean, then it tastes okay. But there's some people I know that will just slap it in the toaster and then they just eat it dry. And I think that's the most disgusting thing. Have you never eaten one? So you don't know what it tastes like?
No, I have zero clue.
Never do it. Don't do it. Never do it. Please. Never do it. Because you will regret every single bite you take. It's like eating an Amazon Prime delivery box. If you've got an Amazon Prime delivery box to hand, eat that instead because that is 100% definitely tastier than a crumpet. Crumpets are like the best memories I have of eating crumpets as a kid were the ones that were smothered in jam. And at that point, I might as well have just been fucking eating jam out of the jar with a spoon. There's no point in eating a crumpet. Crumpets add nothing but texture. But why do you need texture to jam? Jam already has a texture. It's like a more succulent jelly. So if you're that, because people don't come at me and be like, "Yo, the taste of crumpets. I love the taste of crumpets. Would you? So you enjoy the taste of nothing? Like it just tastes. It's all texture, no taste. It's such a dumb, stereotypical British food. Even Gordon Ramsay doesn't like it. I don't actually know that. I have no facts to back that up. But I'm just gonna say he doesn't like it because I don't like it. I think it's dumb, and that's the rant over. I fucking hate crumpets.
I was gonna say I didn't think I'd get you so heated talking about crumpets.
I don't like crumpets. I don't get it. I don't understand the stereotype or the fascination with them. It's so dumb to me. There's so many other stereotypical foods.
I take it you're more of a coffee guy over tea.
Yeah. I think everyone is, right? That's the same with you as well, right? You're more.
Well, I mean, here I'm sitting here drinking cold diet green tea citrus from Lipton. I don't think that's the same tea we're talking about, but this is my kind of tea. This is diet. It's got 5 calories in it, no sugars added. Surprisingly, no protein.
Tea comes in a plastic bottle.
And in the UK, at times.
At times, I mean, I'm talking about the tea that you put milk in a thing, and there's milk in a tea bag, you put sugar in there.
Yeah, you make tea bags.
And then you drink it with one pinky out or something like that.
See, in America, for the most part, we do that, but then we dump like 80 gallons of just sugar, and that's it's literally that. It's just sugar water. And people love it. You go to America and get yourself a sweet tea, hop into the local Mcdonald's, go over to Popeyes, get yourself a biscuit and a big old sweet tea. That's our tea and crumpets, is a Popeyes biscuit and a sweet tea that's going to give you diabetes after 2 sips.
That's literally a Monster Energy, but a tea. Monster Energy. You know those drinks that like Monster Energy is literally just sugar water, right? Like you've had a Monster Energy before.
I've never had it, and I refuse to. I refuse to drink. The only energy drink I've ever drank was G Fuel, and I kept it really, really, really light. I'm not much, because here's the thing. I've got a pre-existing, like, history of, like, heart conditions and shit, and it scares me. To say that I don't want to, like, start drinking Red Bull and get addicted. I recently just got into coffee. I just bought a Keurig. I don't know. I just bought a Keurig, and that's my... You know what a Keurig is, right? Yeah,
is it like similar to it's like a coffee maker XL, but not in the term of like it's a big coffee maker. It's just like a Gen 2 coffee maker is the way I always saw it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
it uses the little cups instead of that's what
it's. You have an espresso maker?
No. Hold on, I'll grab one of the cups.
Because I'm starting to feel like either we have different terminology.
You put these in it. You see these little cups? They're little plastic cups, It's a very common thing, and it's kind of a thing that Keurig made.
Welcome to the flock.
Why am
Whoa,
I getting
whoa,
so many?
whoa.
I'm getting a shit ton of follows on on Twitch or on my OBS right now. I keep hearing "Welcome to the flock." Who's following me on Twitch? What the fuck? I keep. All right. Anyway, I've been streaming this whole time. That'd be funny as fuck. But no, it's Keurig cups is what they are. This is a Walmart brand one because Keurig cups are stupid as hell, super expensive. But you lift up the thing and then you put this in, and then it puts water into it and it spits out
Welcome
coffee.
to the flock.
I'm getting. Oh my fucking god! Who is following me right now? Ruining the entire recording right now. But no, that's what the Keurig is. You've never heard of a Keurig?
I've never heard of that.
That is such a common thing in America as a Keurig. You go to college and we're not allowed to have like an actual like coffee pot because there's like a heating element with the hot plate on the bottom. So you get a Keurig because it heats it all inside and it's less of a fire hazard. And
Welcome to the flock.
I've never heard of those in my entire life. That's like a whole new concept to me. All
Really?
I know are coffee makers and espresso makers, like coffee machines and espresso makers. That's it. There's no in between like that. That sounds like next level. That sounds like some sort of alien device. I've never.
really, I'll have to record a video for you of of me making it and send it your way or something because it's not.
I need to see that.
Yeah, it's look up a Keurig sometime. It's yeah, that's crazy that you've never heard of a Keurig.
I feel like it's something that I should have heard of that I've just never heard of. It's like asking someone if they know who like some fame like Nirvana is and they've never heard of Nirvana before. Like
yeah,
it's like that kind of thing, but for the coffee world.
right.
I never understood also once about comparing the music industry to the coffee world, right? Why do you reckon there are people who are that into coffee that they have like t-shirts and beanies and like jackets with like coffee like Nescafe like embroidered logos on t-shirts? They own merch of coffee companies.
I think so because I mean, well, to be fair, best example of that is Starbucks. I see people wearing Starbucks stuff. They own the Starbucks cups and stuff.
Oh yeah.
The cups are a big thing, having like the tumblers or whatever, the coffee cups. I think Starbucks is the best example of that. That Starbucks is almost more of a cultural thing than it is a coffee thing. Same way you'd say like Nirvana is like a cultural thing over just being like a music thing. Even though it is music, and even though it is just coffee, I feel like to some degree people live like a Starbucks lifestyle. I think there's like a Starbucks is in their household.
Yeah, Starbucks is very much like a household name at this point. It's more of like the logo has become more than just a company logo, if that makes sense. But at the same time, it's I feel like it's okay. So I feel like the Apple logo in a way is almost very similar to that. But I feel like it'd be really, really weird if people started walking around with the Apple logo on a t-shirt. It's just you just look like an Apple Store employee. There's a difference though if you wear like there was someone I saw like a few years ago and they had like the Windows XP logo on just like a plain white shirt like across the front. That looks cool because it's like an old logo. It's not one currently being used by the company, so it's like vintage or whatever, or retro or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Right.
In that case, it's fine. But like if I just saw someone walking around in the street and they had like Walmart on like a beanie or like Walmart embroidered leather biker jacket that just had like Target on the sleeve, what like I don't get it. I don't understand that. Like it depends. If it's something really old, then I feel like it's got an aesthetic to it. But if you're just walking around with like company merch, like modern company merch, why?
Right.
What's the appeal? It's just like you're sucking off the company at that point, and then I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Okay. So to answer your question about sweet tea in America versus like a Monster Energy drink. So an 8-ounce can of Monster Energy has 25 grams of sugar, right? And then a large Popeyes sweet tea, which is known for being one of the sugariest sweet teas, is 45 grams.
What?
So you're getting almost double, a little under double, the amount of sugar in a large sweet tea than you are a small can of Monster, which is insane. And then you wonder why Americans are fat.
The United States is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Who needs that much in a sweet tea? I get it's a sweet tea. I understand it's a sweet tea. But do you need that much? Who
will
makes
say,
these?
Yeah, Popeyes is definitely the worst. Like, I would argue that number one, like, sugariest sweet teas, especially when it comes to fast food, is Popeyes, which is like a chicken restaurant. And it is strong. Like, I can hardly get through it. Like, if I'm going to drink it, it needs to be watered down. And then I'd say, like, the other, like, stereotypical one is McDonald's sweet tea is super sweet. It's very, at least here
That's McDonald's we're talking about. That's McDonald's.
That's true.
Like, that's a given that's going to be one of the heaviest, one of the sweetest sweet teas. I think McDonald's takes the cake for a lot of the worst things. I ate at a McDonald's. Is it true that in America you guys have the supersize? The actual burgers are bigger.
Okay, I don't know what it is. How big a burger is over there. We used to have supersized meals, but then it became like a big thing, like a big like health thing. This is a funny story. So back in high school, we had to take like health classes. I think we had to take it like in elementary, junior high. This is gonna sound completely, because I know our school systems are busted. And then late high school, we had to take like a health class. And I had the same teacher every single time. He's like one of our football coaches that taught it. And he would show this documentary. It's called Super Size Me, and it had Morgan Spurlock in it. And what he would do is for 30 days, he would sit there and he would eat just McDonald's. And it was basically like it was kind of like propaganda, but it was a kind of a movement that we need to get rid of supersized meals. Because anytime you go and you'd be like, yeah, can I get a burger with a large fry? Large fry is a shit ton of fries. You need to keep it, like, it's a lot of chips, as you would say. A lot of French fries. And you get a supersize. I never had any. Or if I did, I was like little, because I got rid of them when I was young. It was a lot of fries. Like, it was an unhealthy, ungodly amount of French fries. So I don't know about the burgers. I don't know like how big a burger is over there compared to ours, but I would assume that our burgers are probably bigger than yours.
I wondered, because that's interesting that they got rid of it, because in 2014 I was in New Orleans and I went to a McDonald's somewhere there. I don't remember exactly where, but like I asked for a supersize because I was like, yo, I see online all the time about Americans eating supersize. Haha, funny, big Americans, funny British people make fun of Americans. But like, I was like, I want to do that. I want to get on in the experience. I want to know what's going on with it. So I ordered it, and the burger was like triple. If I had to give you a circumference of like the Big Macs here, right? It's probably about that. I mean, that's not, you don't know, you can't see the actual size of my hands right now, but like, it's probably about the same size as like your average mug opening. They're kind of small, but this one was like triple the size. It was like maybe about that big on my head, like almost the size of my fucking head. And the fries were like, they were huge. And I don't know if it was just this one place that was doing, I don't know if maybe there was a promotion on for like super size or something like that, as if you ever need that much food.
Yeah.
And the drinks were fucking gigantic. It's like you had to have two hands to drink that. I don't know. That's why I thought
to have two hands to
like. I mean, I was small.
Large? Well, still. Okay, I would argue I got this from my dining hall, and I scratched up the cup a little bit. This is like the size of like a medium drink.
That's
and then a large.
That's the size of.
A large is like maybe this big, around maybe. It's not. It's big. It's not much bigger than a. I don't need two hands for it. Holy shit! Fucking.
That's the size of our larges. That's how.
That's reasonable.
Yeah. Because I think everything's kind of smaller here.
I know for a fact a large is like a 32 ounce, and then I think a medium. How big is a medium sized drink? Again, looking up stuff in the middle of the podcast. Medium size.
You need like
drink.
A third guy to get to pull up information.
Let's see. So I guess large Yeah, a large in America is a 30 ounce. 21 ounces is a medium. 16 is the small. And then, oh yeah, I'm looking at a picture comparison. It doesn't say how big your guys's are, but like your large is like your small is like what we'd call like a kid's or like a water cup. I used to work at McDonald's. I used to work at McDonald's for a bit, and when people would come in and say, "Okay, I want this and I want a water," we would say, "Okay, take this," and it's like a tiny ass cup. That's what your guys' small is. It's just
Yeah,
this,
that's
like
the thing, yeah.
like about that big. And we would say, "There you go fill it up with water." And then we would have to go yell at them whenever they put McDonald's Sprite into it. But
Yeah, that makes sense.
but
We get
yeah,
the same kind
yeah.
of thing. It's
Mhm.
with the sizes. The smalls that we give out are the same size as the kids' drinks. The small is the same as a kid's drink.
Right.
So and like the small fry is the same size as the kids' fries are. So that's all the same. It's just I was so curious because it's like over there. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't know that soda was a different because you guys call soda like that's like the blanket term for like every fizzy drink, right? That's
I mean,
like a Pepsi is a soda and a
yeah,
Sprite is a soda, right?
right.
But I thought soda was like a different drink until I was like maybe 12. Like I genuinely, when did I go to? I went to Florida. I went to like Universal and Disney in Florida when I was like
Hmm.
maybe 11 or 12, and I genuinely there was like one of the in like the Disney hotel restaurant. It's like you get Pepsi, Coke, like Fanta, 7 Up, and then soda, and I was like, holy shit, soda!
Oh.
I've never had soda before. That's an American thing. So I had the soda, and it
Yeah.
just tasted like lemonade. And I was
Oh.
bragging to, like, all of the people there, like, all of these American friends. I was like, "Yo, I've got soda, dude. I've never had soda before." Like, it's just
No,
it's just
I think what you
that's
got was just
insane.
soda water. Soda water is what you mix in. The machines mix in with like the syrup of like you
Yeah,
have Coke syrup, which is bagged, and then you just mixes it with the soda water, which is just carbonated water, and then it makes
yeah.
Coke. I think you just drank soda water and thought it was a separate.
That's literally all I did. That's
That's
it had no taste to it, and I was like
yeah,
I mean, I like sparkling water anyway, so
yeah. It's
it's the same
yeah,
thing.
right.
I was like "Whoa, this is cool. It's like water, but this is soda? This is so amazing." I felt like
I'll,
such an idiot. For like 3 years, I believed. My family let me believe for 3 years after that, until I was like 14, that soda was a different drink. The soda was like this unique thing you could only experience in America. And I never had it again until like I can't remember when I exactly found out. I'll have to remember it. But like it's so fucking I just had soda water. That's it.
yeah. So what do you call it? You said that soda's a blanket term over here. What do you call Coke and Pepsi?
We call them soft drinks. Oh shit.
Oh, yeah. No, that's fair. A
Yeah.
lot of people do here. It's a regional thing here. A lot of people say like soda pop. So and like the formal term, like if you're going to go and like look at a menu, it's soft drinks. But if you're saying it casually, it's just like, "Oh, I want a soda." I think people that say pop are crazy. Apparently that's a thing in my region. I've never heard it, but like it's stereotypical. Like if you look online, like in my region we say pop. I'm like, if you call it just straight up pop, there's something fucking wrong with you. Your
Yeah, we
mind's
get
broken.
we get people that call it pop here, and it's so. I mean, I used to work McDonald's as well. I used to work a
Mhm.
small one in like my hometown,
Yeah.
and through the drive-through all the time, people would be like, "Can I get? Can I get a kids meal with a pop?" It's like,
Hmm.
what
Right.
do you mean a pop? Like I just don't. I've never heard that phrase before. What are you talking about? Oh, pop, mate, a pop. And then the kids in the back seat start jumping up and down, getting all giddy. It's like screaming pop because they know they're about to get carbonated shit in their systems. It's like they're giddy at the thought of it. They haven't even got any sugar in their system yet. And then their
Hmm.
parents don't even tell me what they mean. It's just, what do you mean you don't know what we mean? We want pop for our kids. We want our kids to be drinking pop, and I don't know what they're talking about. So I just put a water on there, and I put a water on there. It's like I don't know what you want.
Oh
Then they
shit.
buy it, and then they come back and they complain, So you didn't give us the pop. So if you would tell me what the pop is, rather than just allowing your kids to lean out the window and scream into the McDonald's microphone, I want pop, in the most obnoxious British back alley fucking London accent there is, so I can't understand what they're saying anyway. I'm not in the wrong for that. I don't know your British slang. I'm not ground British. I mean, I am. I'm very pure British, but like, I'm not culturally in there with all the slang. If you come at me with like London slang, can I get a pop? I've never heard that term in my life until McDonald's customers started asking for pop. That's about it.
That's. Did you have any? I don't know about you. I didn't work McDonald's very much. I worked it like maybe a couple months. Like it was just like a summer job, and I don't know. I had some crazy people. I did not know that there was a difference between a McDouble and a double cheeseburger. I assumed that a double cheeseburger was a McDouble. I didn't know this. Right? It isn't. It isn't. The difference is a double cheeseburger has an extra piece of cheese because it's 2 cheeseburgers, but a McDouble is 2 burgers with a slice of cheese. I didn't know this, and I didn't think it would be that big of a deal. So the guy comes up and he's like, "Hey, can I get I want a medium fry and a double cheeseburger." I'm like, "Okay." So I'm thinking like, okay, a McDouble is on the dollar menu. That's what he wants. And medium fries is on the dollar menu. That's what he wants. So I ring him up for that. It's like $2 total, like $2.60 or whatever tax. He gets it. He comes up to me and goes, "I told you I wanted a double cheeseburger." I'm like, "Oh, did you not get it?" And I looked back and I'm like, "Yeah, that's what it says in your receipt right there is a McDouble." And he's like, "I wanted a double cheeseburger, not a McDouble." I'm like, "Homie, that is." And then my manager comes over and it's like, "What's wrong here?" It's like, he wanted a double cheeseburger, so I rang him up for one. Looks at the receipt. "You rang him up for a McDouble." I'm like, "Well, first, you didn't train me. This is like my first like week in. You didn't train me at all, A. And then B, what's the difference?" And he's like, "There's a difference in cheese." I'm like, "Okay, so I'll take that back." So I take back his burger. I have the kitchen make him a new one, bring it out. This is where it gets crazy. He sees that I'm the only one working the lobby, and I'm going to have to clean the lobby whenever I'm not taking orders. He looks at me, looks down, doesn't finish his burger. He takes the burger, opens it up, rubs it on the tables, takes his drink, pours it out onto the table, flips me off, and walks out. You're that mad out of a slice of cheese, and I saved you money. It's like $2 for a double cheeseburger. It's like $1 for a McDouble. You paid an extra $1 for one slice of cheese, and you're going to completely trash the entire lobby that I'm gonna have to clean up. I don't know about you, but that's just like one of the crazy stories I had.
I hate that man with a burning passion. I worked McDonald's for like 2 years. I worked there until from when I was 16. I just turned 16, all the way up to when did I leave? Like I was 18. It was probably like October 2018. So I worked there for about two and a half years. That was like my teenage job.
Right.
I experienced nothing quite like that. Like we had people throwing shit. I want to make like a series, right, where I talk about like all different McDonald's things. That's a thing coming that I want to make videos on. But like we had people not like just outright start making a mess, but we had people through the drive-thru who would like throw milkshakes at us. We had people who would like throw McFlurries at us if we'd give them like the wrong one, for example. Like they'd paid for the special one. It's like, "Yo, you just cost me 50p," and they would just throw it at the cashier and the drive-thru, and then they drive away. We had a bunch of crazy stuff. We had people come in and try and get like into the kitchen. We had like a group of kids try and get into the kitchen one time, like jumping and screaming, and then we told them to get out, and they were like accusing us of being sexist and stuff because some of them were girls. Like, no, you fucking moron! You're just in the kitchen. There's clearly a massive sign that says "Don't go in the kitchen" if you're not an employee. I don't know. These people are brainlets, but like, I'm convinced that 92.5% of McDonald's customers that enter a McDonald's restaurant every day, no matter what country on planet Earth you were in, that exact percentage of people are absolute fucking moron brainlets, and they don't know anything. They can't comprehend anything that isn't yummy Big Mac. And if you break their train of thought, they crumble, and they get so angry to the point where they just regress back to fucking caveman days, and they go all like full on monkey mode on you. And I feel like that's what you experienced, and I feel like that's what I've experienced multiple times as well. But working McDonald's is tough, and I think McDonald's employees deserve more of our respect. To be 100% honest, I think
I
they're
completely
just
agree.
young kids trying to make their way. They're just trying to make a little bit of pocket change. You know, they're just students.
Yeah.
They're just like you and me. They're no different.
Right.
So I don't understand why people got to get so angry at them. What, they're like 30-year-old dads that are like getting all riled up at like a 15-year-old McDonald's worker. Like,
Yeah.
it just seems a bit weird to me.
Yeah, I completely
It's
agree.
just
I
strange.
think that and retail are two of the groups that get underappreciated because you realize that it's like a starting job, and you realize that uh, more than likely that's not like their full career. And I don't know why there's like a stigma to be like looked down upon just because, you know, like it's your first job and you know it's not going to pay well. I don't know. I feel like here at least you go into like any like retail clothing store, someone doesn't like a shirt and they just toss it somewhere. You know, like it's not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go put it back on the hanger and put it back where it was after I try it on and I don't like it. No, I'm just gonna leave it in the dressing room. I'm just gonna toss it over here where it doesn't belong. I think that's a very common thing. And then I think especially when you're talking about like you get like the Karens with their coupon codes and stuff, and it doesn't work, and they have an absolute fit over it. I think we need to have more appreciation for retail and fast food workers.
I definitely agree, especially on the retail for clothes, right? Like we're prepared for that. We have like dressing rooms that have hooks where you can hang up clothes while you're trying them on.
Yeah.
But people will just leave them there. But outside the dressing rooms, like the changing rooms, we have these like trolleys or like carts that have rails on them, and they're just like that's where all the employees, they will put all of the clothes that are left in the changing rooms on there. And then at the end of the day, when they're like closing up shop, they'll like look at where everything needs to go and they'll put it back themselves. Like we come prepared for that kind of thing. Because in the UK, like just leaving your clothes. I mean, I go back whenever I buy clothes in a shop, which right now isn't often because none of them are open. But like I will always go back and I will put whatever item that I don't want back up where I found it. There's been like 2 occasions in the past few years where I've just left it where it is. But there are people who will try on like everything in the entire store, like from everything from beanies to socks, like the whole shebang, the whole body. They'll just leave it all in the dressing room, like all crumpled on the floor. It's like, yeah, I don't want to buy that. You just leave it in a mess on the floor. Like like human beings work here. You're fully aware of that, right? Like we don't live in an age yet where robots have completely taken over all retail jobs, or robots have completely taken over drive-through jobs. We will get there one day, where like you order something through the drive-through and your Big Mac comes through like on like a treadmill, like on an airport system. I believe that'll come about, but in our lifetimes, 100%. But we don't live in that age yet, so you can't be shouting and screaming at people just because they gave you your latte 2 minutes late than it was expected on your ticket. It's stupid.
True.
We should respect those employees a lot more.
I agree. Yeah, in America we do have the whole like trolley system as well. I was just referring to like throwing it like you said, crumpled up on the ground, or putting it like in a completely different spot as you're walking out or whatever. But overall, yeah, no, we need to have more respect for retail workers and fast food and everything else. You kind of brought up a good point. You said a lot of stuff is closed. I don't know where you're. At least here, it's America. You got to keep in mind. I feel like everything's pretty well opened back up, which is concerning.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, like if I wanted to go try on clothes, I could. If I wanted to go there, it's just like keep your social distance or whatever. So I mean, like one thing is you'll be walking in like a sporting goods store or something, and you'll have people like working at the front, and they'll be like, "Hey, do you have a mask?" And it's like, "No, I don't. I don't need a mask. I'm better than that." And it'll be like, "Okay, well, just try to keep your distance." It's like there's no enforcement of any of the. So then you wonder why America's numbers are going up, because we're just living, bro. Like we're just living day to day. I wear a mask because it bugs the hell out of me. There's a restaurant that's in my hometown, and I went there last weekend with my parents. No one there was wearing a mask. Like not the servers, not the people in the kitchen. And I'm like, we're gonna eat food from these people in the middle of. And numbers are going up in America. It's not like we got this shit under control now. It's like people just don't want to believe it exists. It's just like, okay, no, we've been in it. We've been quarantined for this long. It's not real. COVID isn't real.
America is what I mean with the whole restaurant thing. We have a different. I mean, I ate at a restaurant literally yesterday. I ate
Mhm.
at like some pizza place, and you're required to wear a mask until you're sat at your table,
Right.
and then you're allowed to take it off because how else are you going to eat?
Right.
But like the servers are all wearing masks, the kitchen staff are all wearing masks as well.
Mhm.
So that makes sense, right? That's
Right.
fine.
Yeah, I completely
So
agree with that.
I sat down at the table and I take the mask off and then she comes over. It's like, "Hello, can I take your order?" It's like you do it all on your phone now. But like if you refuse to comply and you don't have one of those cards that says I have a condition that means I'm exempt from wearing a mask, then they don't let you in. Like they will straight up call security and they'll get you kicked out. Like
Mhm.
it's we very much enforce it here. I recently my workplace shut down until further notice. Like so I don't have a workplace now because we're starting to we sort of open places back up
Mhm.
a little bit,
Right.
but then everything kind of our numbers started to rise again, so now we're shutting everything down again. Uh but yeah, we have similar issues to you, but not in the same regard as like America is just ignoring everything, dude.
Yeah.
America is just like, yo, it doesn't exist. I don't know what global pandemic. What global
Right.
pandemic?
Mhm.
For masks? Who needs? Why do we need to wear a mask? The only reason I would understand why you don't want to wear a mask is because some masks are really like restricting in terms of like I understand what when they word it stupid, right? Like I don't want to wear a mask because I can't breathe. Like shut up, you can breathe. It
Right.
depends how long you wear it for. Like
Mhm.
after a while, for example, this one isn't exactly very well ventilated, so like I do that a lot. Like I take in massive breaths and stuff like that. But if you're going out shopping, you're not going to be shopping for longer than like 20 minutes, half an hour. So
Right.
surely you can manage, right? You're not going to drop dead in the middle of a Walmart because you've suffocated yourself with them. It's just a bit of fabric, dude. Just kind of lift it up a little bit and then breathe. Do that
Yeah.
and then be like, "Oh, that's nice." And then put it back on. It's not that hard. It's not that hard.
Right.
Everyone is an idiot and the world is burning right now. But you know what? We're having a whale of a time kind of making the best of it.
True. True.
I mean, I think I
Yeah, I don't
think
know. At least for me, I'm a little bit worried because I mean, like, I'm on a public college campus. Like, I'm living in the dorms, and obviously there's restrictions here. And I think on campus they're really good at like being like, okay, put on your damn mask. Like, come on. But the second you
yeah.
step out of campus, like, it depends on the restaurant. There's a lot of restaurants, especially the commercial ones, that are the same way, where you have to walk in until you're seated. You have to have a mask on. Everyone has a mask on. I was just absolutely like shocked that for me to walk out, the bathroom is right across the hall from me. In order for me to use the restroom, I have to wear a mask here, otherwise someone will call me out for it. But then I can go to my hometown restaurant and nobody, not even I think if you're working on someone's food, you need to be wearing a mask. Like, come on, there's restaurants close to that one that recently got shut down because people in the kitchen or people serving had COVID. So it's like, are you seriously going to sit there and risk that in a community that is full of COVID already? And then, I mean, I went to a church service recently for my brother, and I'm religious. I haven't been going to mass much lately, especially because of COVID, because it's a big gathering of people and around a bunch of older people, especially. Like, I don't want to bring something from my college campus back home and get. But nobody there was wearing a mask, and it was insane to me because we were seated fairly close. I was wearing a mask the entire time, and it was just like people were shaking hands and stuff, and it was like, it's like we don't think that, it's like we think that because people around us have already had COVID and gotten rid of it, that it's not that big of a deal, and because we've been in, been in quarantine or been in lockdown or whatever for so many months already, like, oh, it just doesn't exist, and I don't really want to wear a mask or whatever, and I think that mentality is what's going to get us all killed. I would be interested to see how seriously people take it if it was a little bit more lethal. Because I feel like it's crazy that we've already had this many people, unfortunately, pass away from it, and so many people have lost lives, and still, like, as a nation, or at least our nation, like, we just turn around and we're like, oh, it's not a big deal. Like, it's same as common flu. People die. Not a big deal. Like,
Yeah.
just have some decency.
It's like, the flu is definitely, I mean, like, I have friends who take it really seriously, and I have some friends who take it who barely take it with a grain of salt. And it's interesting to see the views from those both of those viewpoints. I feel like I'm leaning way more towards like this is very dangerous. I agree with the whole if it was more lethal. I mean, it's already hella lethal, but like if it was more visibly lethal, people would believe it. Because I feel like a lot of the people who are saying that it's not real are the same kind of people who don't believe mental health exists,
Mhm.
and that like I feel like they kind of fall into the same kind of category because if they can't see it, then they don't believe it. And with some things, I think that reigns true. But like when it comes to this, and scientists, there's literal proof that it exists. Like, how much more can you deny that it exists? Like, it's very real. Um, if it was more lethal, like if, for example, the day you caught it, or like if bleeding from the mouth or something
Right.
was like, or like your eyes went like really red, or they puffed up and you couldn't see. Um, I don't know, something. Do you know
Right.
something that made it more lethal or something that you could see, then
Right.
more people will take it seriously. But it's because it eats you away from the inside, and it has a similar kind of vibe as the flu, that people don't take it seriously. They're like, fuck it, I'll
Right.
get it, and I'll recover. It's like, I don't know, I don't think anyone's taking it. I don't think this will clear up in the next like year. I think we'll be doing this
Yeah.
for a few years yet.
I think so too, personally. Because I
Even if
mean,
it all
yeah.
ends, like lockdown ends,
Right.
the effects will go on for a few years,
Right.
definitely.
I think the argument that people are making right now is like, oh, COVID won't end until there's a commercialized vaccine. Until everybody can easily get a vaccine, there's not going to be. But at the same time, I turn around and I talk to, some people in my community, and I'm like, so if they announced today that there's going to be a vaccine, would you take it? About 95% of the people I talk to say no, I'm not going to take the vaccine. I think if other people take it, it'll kill it off enough, and then I won't have to worry about it. So it's like, so is the argument that if we had a commercialized vaccine, valid? Like, would if nobody's gonna take it, like it's so. So I don't think I think we'll be stuck the way we are for quite a while, and I think the issue is countries like America are gonna continually get more lax about it. Because I mean, I'm already seeing it now. Like my numbers just in my state. Like, it was reported in the past 3 days that we're up to like 3,000 new cases a day just in my state. And that's a pretty small area for 3,000 new cases. So I'm personally worried being on a public college campus. And it's crazy how lax people are about it, I think.
I think there's like different levels of being relaxed about it. I think some people are relaxed about it for different reasons that other people are. Some people are relaxed because they don't care about it. Some people are relaxed because like they just have other stuff to worry about. Maybe there are other issues going on that kind of outweigh.
Right,
They don't have this yet to worry about. So when they get it, they'll cross the bridge when they come to it. That's why they're not panicking about it.
right,
But there are people who just don't panic because they just don't care.
right.
Uh, the 3,000 new cases a day in
Mhm.
a small area is worrying.
Yeah. I mean, to
Like
be
I don't keep
fair,
up to date with numbers,
states are
but that's
like,
crazy.
I mean, like I'm central to my state to get to either side of it. Like if I want to go up to like Chicago, it's like a 3-hour drive, So it's small, but small in terms of America. Like that state is small, but I mean, I understand that there's like countries overseas that are like a quarter of the size of my state. So I mean, I'm not saying it's like a super condensed area, but 3,000 cases, it's kind of crazy. I think there's a major difference between panic and like being panicked and being worried. I'm not necessarily worried. I'm more just like aware, and I think that's a good way to put it. I have the personal belief that, again, like until it's a major issue for you, you shouldn't worry about it. And that goes for anything in life. Like don't worry about stuff that probably isn't even going to happen. But at the same time, this is like a situation where I'm always kind of putting myself in danger by going outside or like going and getting food or whatever. So I do think, and I totally see the side of the coin that you shouldn't be worried about it until you actually get it. And I completely agree. Like it shouldn't be a deal where we're sitting here and panicking about it. But I think there's a difference between, okay, I'm not going to worry about it, and I'm not going to wear a mask because I'm better than that. Like, have the decency and have the common sense of, I'm going to wear a mask, I'm going to take precautions, I'm going to be a decent human being, but don't don't sit here and like I've got a family member, and I feel awful for him because he has like a serious case of like diabetes and stuff. He's been locked up in his house since COVID hit America. He has not left his house. So I think there's a difference. I think there's definitely a difference. I think taking precautions is the way to go. But I think, god damn, you live in a small like rural area. Go take a walk around the block. Get outside and get some air. He's been in his house and like on his porch for this entire time. And whenever you're like older like he is, it's insane. So I definitely see the coin of not worrying about it, and I don't think you should worry about it. But at the same time, I think that we should be decent people, and if you can, wear a mask. If you wash your damn hands, like be decent, you know?
Yeah, I even not being able to like just go for a walk,
Yeah.
like having to have everything like delivered to. I mean, I won't lie, I've been living off of like takeaways more than I would care to admit, because like it just feels, I feel like delivery drivers are another one another group of people that are underappreciated. But like a lot of people, especially him, everything must be delivered to him. So by the time this is all over, he's going to be accustomed to this way of life where like he just goes nowhere and he's stuck in like one area, and everyone brings stuff to him.
Right.
So it almost feels like you're leeching in a way, even though you're not. You can't help it. You feel like you're leeching. So I understand why that would be really kind of bad for your mental health as well. This whole situation is fucking up so many people. Like this is the kind of thing in like 80 years kids are going to learn about in history classes, like 100%.
Yeah,
but
for sure. Right.
It is not a small issue anymore, and it just surprises me how people can treat it as like such a tiny thing. Like, yeah, okay, it's similar to the flu, but it's clearly right now very more prominent than the flu is.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
To me, that just seems a bit dumb to kind of try and deny it's kind of prominent. I don't know. I don't.
I think the best thing to do is just, at least here, and if you're in America listening, play it safe. Don't overly worry about it, but use some common sense. If someone like, don't make a political statement out of not wearing a mask. It's not a political thing. And as much as you want to think that the second that this presidential race that's going on right now, which is a joke, by the way, is over, like all of a sudden COVID's going to suddenly stop. Don't take it from a political view. I think the best way to do it is just play it safe. Don't go to major gatherings if you can avoid them. Just wear a damn mask. Be smart. And, of course, kind of live life. I mean, don't let it eat you up, but be smart, I think.
You can do stuff. You can still do stuff on a day-to-day basis.
I completely agree.
It doesn't have to consume you.
Yeah.
There's other things you can get up to.
Yeah, just be smart.
Just kind of
fun. Do your thing.
This is the way the world works now. Just get used to it and kind of. I mean, there's nothing else we can do about it. Just kind of take what you can and run with it.
Right.
It's sad, but it's the way it is. But you can make the best of a bad situation 100% if you're not directly affected. It's very easy. And you're right. It's not political. It should never be political. It's like a health thing. This shouldn't be a political issue whether or not you should wear a mask in public. I hate that that's like I don't wear a mask because I don't support this political party. Like, okay, good for you. I don't care who you support, but can you wear a mask, please? Because science and diseases shouldn't be a political issue. That's a whole different category. I don't know. Everything's political now, and I hate it. I hate politics. I never speak about politics online.
Yeah, I try not to.
Overused topic.
Yeah, I think one major thing, like at least in my Twitch streams and stuff, is like people bring up political topics. I have like very basic views, and I was talking about this last night. I prescribe greatly to the I don't give a fuck mentality. I don't care. Like, I don't care that you're going to sit here and like rant about your political views. I don't care what you do in the bedroom. I don't care. Like, as long as you're not overly affecting me, I don't care. And I don't think that my content, and I don't think me sitting here and putting myself out there for 6 hours a day live streaming is the place that I want to be sitting here and talking about who I'm going to vote for in the next election. There's no reason to bring up let's talk about the video game I'm playing, or let's talk about what's going on in the world. Let's have fun. Let's not sit here and talk about, oh, you're going to vote for this person. What do you think about this person's political views? Like, I don't care. Do what you want as long as you're not hurting anyone, and we're good to go.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think anyone logs into Twitch. They click on a Mario Galaxy stream. I don't think they want to know about the latest presidential debate. You can that is literally the news everywhere on the planet.
Right.
The way I view it, and I tweeted about it a while ago, and I just said, like, every creator has a right to withhold all of their like political opinions. Like, most of the time, you don't watch a creator for their political standings or whatever.
Right.
And if you are in the loop enough to be watching internet content creators, then you know all of like the really important stuff that's going on with politics anyway. So you don't need your favorite creators to be like, hey, have you heard about this new political, this, that, and the other? Like, personally, I don't want politics and like governments to control every aspect of media, including independent content creators. That's why I hate when people demand from content creators, especially like independent streamers and just YouTubers and stuff, they demand that they advertise all this political shit to their audiences, or just like all these different movements, that it's not your right to tell them what they can and can't talk about. You are there to watch the content that they are making for themselves and their fan base, their viewers, their whatever you want to call them. They're not there to adhere to your arbitrary rules of the internet, or as to what they should and shouldn't talk about. If they don't want to talk about COVID-19, then they're not going to talk about COVID-19. That's, you can literally go on Google and the first search result for anything is going to be COVID-19. You should watch them as like a getaway.
Right.
I don't think.
Agree with that.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm getting at. You know what I'm trying to say. Right. Like, it's annoying to see so many people. Everyone talks about the same shit lately, and it's so frustrating. That's why, like, I'll watch like some Ordinary Gamers and Moist Critical, and that's it. Because a lot of other content creators that I was watching just constantly talk about all this other stuff now, and it's annoying. Right. I don't care. I can watch that on the news, dude.
That's very reasonable. Speaking of news, I opened up Twitter, and the first thing I see is Kim Jong-un declares North Korea COVID-free. Wonder why. Wonder why North Korea is COVID-free. That's kind of weird. Wasn't North Korea? Am I right? Is that North or South Korea? The first case of COVID, they shot the dude because they didn't want it in the country.
North.
That was North. Yeah. That's what I thought. That's what I assumed. Okay, so I wonder why it's COVID-free. I wonder.
Yeah,
all right.
I don't know if that's true. I don't know how true that is.
It's what's trending on Twitter right now. It says that at least he announced it. I'm not gonna talk bad about Kim, because I don't want no beef with Kim, but it's a little bit curious. It's a little bit curious that North Korea is COVID free. I wonder.
It's interesting, right? That's very fascinating to see that his whole country is free.
There's no COVID.
Free? There's none. It's like, that is sus. There's something sus about that.
Yeah.
There's something about that I don't like. That I don't believe. I don't believe that. I don't believe that it's COVID free, or it is COVID free, and they're kind of like,
right. Yeah.
They're taking them to the Rangers type beat. I think it's
I think for sure. I think there's something more going on. Anyway, I think this is kind of a good spot to go and wrap up. I think we're like 45 minutes in or something. Keep it decently short.
I didn't even notice.
We started. Yeah, because I kind of took note that we started at like 9:30. It's like 10:18 now. Yeah, this has been what, Cashew Cast? Is that what we're calling it?
Cashew Camp.
Well, I'm thinking the cast. I
don't even know the name.
I'm thinking the podcast, bro. We are Cashew Camp. My name is Mason Unique Geese. You can find me on Twitch and YouTube. You want to shout yourself out? Please subscribe to Piranaroni on YouTube, or I will. I'm not. You can fill in the blank with whatever threat you think should come out of my mouth next, and you can do like a Google text to speech over the top of whatever you want to do next. Think of the worst possible threat, and that's what I'll do. You can make it whatever you want.
If you don't sub to me, I'll do whatever you want. But like, please subscribe, please. That's
Yeah,
kind
what
of
he
it. That's my
said.
shout out.